part. In fact, never play this again.
Jeez, Kick-Ass, you hard-as-nails bastard, taking on Godzilla all by yourself? Oh no, wait, you did Sodom and Godzilla! So it's time to look at Godzilla 2014 and see what I thought about it. See, I actually do enjoy the 1998 Godzilla simply for a piece of shit, good fun popcorn movie that's actually funnier than most comedies that have been released this year. So fuck off, Kick-Ass. Right, okay, on to this. So as you know, Whopper's in town and Hal and Whopper are out doing whatever computer programs do in the 21st century. So we have a special guest reviewer today, Cortana from the Halo games, and she's going to tell me what she thinks of Godzilla 2014, and I'm going to tell her what exactly I think of what she thinks.
Well, it is one of the most visually beautiful, if a disaster movie can be beautiful, movies ever made. Well paced and well constructed. However, as soon as Bryan Cranston's character dies, the film becomes a snooze fest. I have been critical of movies that feel the need to just show everything just because they can now with CGI, and I commend this film for not doing that. Trouble is Aaron Taylor-Johnson delivers a good performance but has weak vanilla material. It felt like the director wanted to make him as unoffensive as possible. Since Gareth Edwards wanted to portray the events through Ford's eyes, it seemed like they were too scared to give Brody a personality. Bryan Cranston delivers one of the greatest performances ever to be on the big screen. His portrayal of Joe Brody could have elevated this movie up there with the true classics such as Jaws, had it ran longer than 40-odd minutes. However, this film's problem is simple: it will never gain entry into my evoked set as post-credit roll, as there really isn't anything worth coming back for a second bite. Here's why. Number 1, the action is stunning to admire but nothing to get the heart pumping, as it is too Cloverfield, and that is okay if you are on a character journey, but you aren't. Even though the characters in Cloverfield need to be punched in the face. Jaws held back due to technical issues, but did we care, as the characters were so engaging. Pacific Rim was an ODT cartoon on every level and had a mix of characters and action in equally cartoonish doses, which ticked both boxes of what it was trying to be. What I feel Godzilla missed was doing everything right to differentiate itself from Pacific Rim, but just failed to provide a protagonist I gave a shit about. Kick-Ass had the feel of Jake Gyllenhaal in Source Code, whereby you should care far more than you do about his plight. Maybe Johnson just doesn't have charisma. I am not suggesting for a second that Brody should have been a Will Smith-inspired lead or lower himself to being a Joker, as it would not have been a fit with the tone of the movie, but give us something to really root for. Plus, Ken Watanabe, could you have maybe attempted more than one facial expression throughout a nearly 2-hour movie?
So Cortana, I actually definitely do agree with your viewpoint that this is one of the most visually striking movies I've seen in a goddamn long time. Last summer when I saw Pacific Rim, I did actually wonder how the hell was a Godzilla movie going to differentiate itself from Pacific Rim, because we'd seen everything we could have got. Well, what I thought we could have got from a kaiju movie. So seeing this, I understand how they try to separate themselves. After Bryan Cranston is out of the picture, that is it. Film is over. It's like you're playing a first-person shooter, and that's all Aaron Taylor-Johnson's character is. And I am worried now. After seeing X-Men Days of Future Past this weekend just gone, Quicksilver in that film is phenomenal. He's amazing. He oozes charisma. He oozes character. Quicksilver's the boss and stole the show! Aaron Taylor-Johnson's Age of Ultron Quicksilver is never ever going to come close to what we've just seen in X-Men Days of Future Past. So Cortana, carry on. Tell me more about this.
Number 2, once you think about it, what the fuck was the second act and this balance of nature stuff about? How is nature balancing itself by having one alpha creature? I know they say that these other creatures are parasites, but a parasite to what? Because if they are parasites to Godzilla's, then that's not balance, that's extermination of an undesirable species. If they are parasites to planet Earth, what do they do to be parasitic? As it's not as if we saw anything they leached off of, unless they are alluding to the fact that as the atmosphere lost its radioactive nature, which these mutos required for sustenance, so they moved towards the core, and maybe then you could argue they were draining the Earth of its soul. Also, how the hell do any of these random scientists know so much from pretty much nothing? The balancing argument felt about as one-sided as Honey Boo Boo on a teeter-totter with a kitten.
So yeah, I actually agree with most of that. So carry on, Cortana.
Number 3, over-worship of Godzilla. Yes, Godzilla is not the enemy in this film, nor was she in the 1998 movie. As in Roland Emmerich's Schlockfest, it was a creature misunderstood and simply trying to survive and breed just as any animal does, not a calculating destroyer. But it felt as if there was a real confusion over the course of this movie. One moment we are nuking the shit out of Godzilla, then we are sailing by him, then we are shooting at him, then saluting him and giving him a hug. What is Godzilla? Alpha predator? defender, cuddle buddy? Is he the Earth defense against these Mutos? Or just doesn't like the cut of their jib? And Ken Watanabe was way too Godzilla fanboy to be real, like he was actually gushing over the fictional Godzilla like we all do in the real world, and not a world where Godzilla is not a movie star and is real.
So yes, amazing to have Cortana on as guest reviewer. Actually, she was actually pretty good. Thank you, Cortana. That was actually a really good guest review. I actually quite like this. I hope you can come back sometime. I hope Hal fucks off and leaves me alone. However, a few things I do have to argue with. You forgot to mention the one scene where the scientists explain what's going on. And to be honest, had this been done in any other movie, it would have been one of the most laughable, what the fucking hell are you talking about exposition scenes ever made. When they explain how these creatures absorb radiation. So yeah, as a casual fan, yes, this does hark back to Toho Godzilla movies, and that is a good thing. It's really nice to see someone going into the source material and sticking quite accurately to it. However, is that always a good thing? Doing something that is fan service, I rate that. I love it. I wish Michael Bay did more fan service in Transformers. However, if you're going to do fan service, at least get a laugh out of it. There was actually no comedy in this. It was very dry, really good film, but definitely looking forward to a sequel, and I really hope that Gareth Edwards goes on from it. I hear he's actually getting to do some Star Wars spin-off stuff, and that makes me happy because his cinematography is phenomenal. It's some of the best stuff I've seen in decades. So yes, thank you for watching the review. Remember to check us out on rewindthatcast.blogspot.com. So, Cortana, where do you rate Godzilla on the Affleck curve?
Computing now, Steve.
So well done, Godzilla, you picked The Amazing Spider-Man 2, which makes you roughly around the same as Armageddon Affleck.